Hey everyone, are you ready for a super cool story? I've got one that's going to grab your attention and keep you hooked. It's all about a kid named Tim Grayson and his very first day at Lincoln Middle School. Trust me, it didn't go the way you'd expect. So sit back, imagine you're there, and let's jump right in. Oh, and before we start, drop a comment below and tell me, where are you reading this from today? And if you like fun stories, give this a big thumbs up. Okay, here we go. Picture this, it's a bright, sunny morning. The school bells are ringing and kids are rushing through the doors of Lincoln Middle School. The hallways are loud, like really loud. Kids are shouting, laughing, and running around. There are bright posters on the walls, lockers slamming shut, and sneakers squeaking on the shiny floor. It's a big, busy place, and everyone seems to know everyone else. They're high-fiving, telling jokes, and talking about their weekends. Now into this noisy mess walks Tim Grayson. He's the new kid. He's not tall or big or loud. Nope, he's skinny, with messy brown hair that sticks up in all directions. His clothes are plain, just a faded blue t-shirt and jeans that are a little too big. He's carrying an old, beat-up backpack that's slung over one shoulder. It's got a rip on the side, and you can see a notebook poking out. Tim doesn't look special. He doesn't look strong or cool. He just looks quiet. Tim steps into the hallway, and it's like he's invisible at first. Kids zoom past him, bumping into him without even saying sorry. He keeps his head down, his eyes on the floor. He's not smiling. He's not frowning either. He's just there. You can tell he's nervous, though. His hands grip the straps of his backpack a little too tight. His shoes shuffle instead of step. It's his first day, and he doesn't know anyone, not a single person. Most of the kids don't even notice him. They're too busy with their friends, talking about video games or what they ate for breakfast. But not everyone ignores him. Oh no, there are a few kids who spot him right away, and they don't look friendly. Their eyes lock onto Tim like he's a target in a game. You know that feeling when someone stares at you and you just know they're up to no good. That's what's happening here. These kids, they've already decided Tim's going to be their next victim. Let me paint the scene for you. The hallway is long and packed. Lockers line both sides, painted green and blue. There's a big clock on the wall ticking away the minutes. The air smells like cafeteria food, maybe pizza or hot dogs, and there's a janitor pushing a mop down the hall. Kids are everywhere, some leaning against the walls, some racing to class. And there's Tim walking slow, trying to figure out where he's supposed to go. He's got a little piece of paper in his hand, a schedule telling him his first class. But he's not looking at it. He's too busy trying not to bump into anyone. Now let's talk about Tim some more. He's not the kind of kid who stands out. If you saw him, you might not even remember him later. He's got these big brown eyes, but they're hidden under that messy hair. His backpack looks like it's been through a war, scratched up, dirty, with a zipper that doesn't work right. He's not loud or funny or brave looking. He's just Tim, quiet Tim, shy Tim, the kind of kid who doesn't talk unless you talk to him first. And that's what the other kids see too. They see a skinny, quiet boy who doesn't fit in. To them, he's a nobody, just some new kid who doesn't belong. They don't know his story. They don't know where he came from or why he's here. They don't care either. All they see is someone who looks easy to pick on, someone who won't fight back, someone they can tease and laugh at. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets good. They're wrong. Totally, completely wrong. Tim might look small, he might look weak, he might look like he's scared, but Tim's got a secret. A huge, awesome secret that nobody at Lincoln Middle School knows about. Not the teachers, not the other kids, not even the principal. It's a secret that's going to turn everything upside down. and trust me, when it comes out, jaws are going to drop. So let's set the stage a little more. It's Tim's first day, right? He's walking down that busy hallway trying to find his locker. He's got his schedule crumpled in his hand and he's muttering the numbers to himself. Locker 142, locker 142. Kids keep brushing past him and he almost drops the paper. He stops for a second, looking around. The hallway's so full, it's hard to see anything. He squints at the numbers on the lockers: 138, 139, 140, almost there. But then he hears it, a voice, a loud, mean voice cutting through the noise. "Hey, new kid," it says. Tim freezes. He doesn't turn around right away. He just stands there like he's hopping. It's not for him, but it is. Of course it is. The voice comes again, closer this time. "What's your deal, huh? You lost or something?" Tim turns his head just a little, and that's when he sees them. 3 boys standing a few feet away. They're bigger than him, taller, wider, louder. The one in the middle is the leader. You can tell just by looking at him. He's got a big grin, but it's not a nice one. It's the kind of grin that says, "I'm trouble." His name's Jake, but we'll get to him later. For now, all you need to know is that he's staring at Tim like he's a bug he wants to squish. The other 2 boys laugh. One of them points at Tim's backpack. "Nice bag, loser," he says. "Did you find it in the trash?" The other one snickers and nudges Jake. Tim doesn't say anything. He just looks at them, then looks away. He starts walking again, faster this time, but Jake not done. "Where you going, new kid?" he calls out. "You can't run from us." The hallway's still buzzing, but a few kids nearby slow down. They're watching now. Some are whispering, some are grinning like they know what's coming. Tim keeps his head down, his messy hair falling over his face. He's trying to disappear, you can tell, but it's too late. Jake and his buddies have locked onto him. They've decided he's their fun for the day. Here's a quick question for you guys. Have you ever been the new kid somewhere? Maybe at a school, a club, or even a new neighborhood. How did it feel? And what would you do if someone started messing with you right away? Tell me in the comments. I really want to know. Because Tim's about to face that exact problem and it's not going to be pretty. Let's zoom in a little closer. Tim finally finds his locker, number 142. It's a scratched-up green one near the end of the hall. He fumbles with the combination, his hands shaky. The paper says 1234-9. He spins the dial. 1234-9, click. It opens. He lets out a tiny breath like he's relieved. For 1 second, he thinks maybe he's safe. Maybe those boys will leave him alone now. But nope, Jake's voice is back. "What's in there, huh? More junk?" He's closer now, standing right behind Tim. Tim doesn't turn around. He just shoves his backpack into the locker and tries to close it fast. But Jake's quick. He slams his hand on the locker door, keeping it open. "Not so fast, new kid," he says, laughing. His buddies crowd in too, blocking Tim in. Now, Tim's heart is pounding. You can almost hear it. He's trapped. Kids are watching from down the hall, but no one's helping. No one's saying, "Leave him alone." They're just staring, waiting to see what happens. Tim's still quiet. He doesn't yell or push back. He just stands there, his hands in his pockets now. Now Jake leans in close. "You're gonna have a real fun day, new kid," he says, his voice low and mean. Then he steps back, smirking like he's the king of the world. His buddies laugh again and they walk off, leaving Tim standing there by his locker. He waits until they're gone, then shuts the door with a soft click. But here's the kicker. Tim's not as scared as he looks. Oh no, he's nervous, sure, he's new and this stinks. But deep down, he's got something those boys don't expect. Something big. Something that's going to make them wish they'd never even looked at him. What is it? Well, you'll find out soon. Because Tim Grayson isn't just some quiet kid with a beat-up backpack. He's got a secret, a super cool, totally awesome secret. And it's about to shake up Lincoln Middle School in a way no one will ever forget. So what do you think so far? Are you Team Tim already? Stick around because this story's just getting started and it's going to get wild. Alright friends, let's keep this story rolling. We're about to meet some not so nice kids who are going to make Tim's day a lot tougher. Are you ready? Here we go. It's lunchtime at Lincoln Middle School. The cafeteria is buzzing with noise, kids talking, trays clattering, and chairs scraping the floor. It smells like pizza and French fries, and the big room is packed with long tables. Most kids are sitting with their friends, laughing and eating. But not Tim. Nope, he's all by himself. He's standing near the water fountain in the corner, holding a plain brown tray with a sandwich, an apple, and a little carton of milk. He's still the new kid, remember? No one's talking to him yet. He's just standing there, quiet as always, with his messy brown hair falling over his eyes. And that's when Jake Miller shows up. Oh boy, Jake's trouble. He's not just any kid, he's the kind of guy who acts like he's the boss of everything. He's big, way taller than Tim, with broad shoulders and a loud voice that echoes across the room. His hair's short and spiky, and he's wearing a red jacket that makes him stand out. Jake's always looking for someone to tease, someone to push around. It's like a game to him, and he loves winning. Now Jake's not alone either. He's got his crew, two other boys who follow him everywhere. One's named Mike. He's skinny but mean, with a goofy laugh that sounds like a donkey. The other's Tommy. He's chubby and loud, always nodding at whatever Jake says. Together, these three are like a pack of wolves hunting for someone to mess with, and today they spot Tim. Now Jake, walking through the cafeteria, his head high like he's a king. His eyes scan the room, looking for fun. Then he sees Tim standing there all alone by the water fountain. Jake's lips curl into a big, nasty grin. It's the kind of grin a shark might have right before it bites. He nudges Mike and Tommy, pointing at Tim. "Check it out," he says, loud enough for kids nearby to hear. "Fresh meat." Mike snickers, Tommy cracks his knuckles. They start walking toward Tim and you can feel the air change. Kids at the tables nearby stop talking. They turn their heads, watching. Some of them know what's coming. Jake doesn't just say hi to new kids, he picks on them. It's what he does. And Tim, he's the perfect target. Small, quiet, alone. Jake thinks this is going to be easy. Now Tim's just standing there holding his tray. He's not looking at Jake yet. Maybe he doesn't hear the footsteps coming closer. Maybe he's too busy thinking about his sandwich. But then Jake's voice booms out loud and clear. "Hey, new kid," he shouts. Everyone in the cafeteria can hear it. Heads turn fast now. "What's wrong?" Too scared to talk. Now Jake's buddies laugh, Mike with that donkey laugh, Tommy with a big snort. They step closer, crowding around Tim like a wall. Tim looks up, finally. His big brown eyes peek out from under his messy hair. He doesn't say anything. He just stares at Jake, holding his tray a little tighter. Jake loves this. He loves when kids don't talk back. It makes him feel big. He steps even closer, towering over Tim. "What's your deal, huh?" he says, smirking. Then Mike moves fast. He flicks Tim's tray with his fingers, snap. The sandwich slides off and hits the floor with a sad little plop. Ketchup smears on the tile. The apple rolls away under a table. Kids nearby giggle, but it's not a nice sound. It's nervous, like they're scared of Jake, too. Tommy's next. He gives Tim a shove, not super hard, but enough to make him stumble. Tim catches himself, still holding the empty tray. His milk carton wobbles but doesn't fall. The crowd's watching now, some kids whispering, some pointing. And then, yep, here it comes. Jake leans in real close. His face is inches from Tim's. You can see the mean in his eyes. He takes a big breath and then he spits right in Tim's face. A glob of spit lands on Tim's cheek. The crowd gasps. A few kids laugh, but it's quick and quiet. Most of them just stare wide-eyed, spits dripping down Tim's face, now wet and gross. Anyone else might yell or cry or run away. But Tim, he doesn't do any of that. He just stands there, calm, steady. He lifts his sleeve, a faded blue one, and wipes the spit off, slow and careful. He doesn't say a word, doesn't cry, doesn't even flinch. He just looks at Jake with those big, quiet eyes. Jake blinks like he's surprised. He expected Tim to freak out, but Tim's not freaking out. He's just still. Jake laughs anyway, louder this time. "What a loser," he says, turning to his buddies. Mike and Tommy laugh too, slapping Jake on the back. "Total loser," Mike says. "Spit face," Tommy adds, pointing at Tim. They think they've won. They think Tim's weak. Jake struts away, head high, like he's the champ of the cafeteria. His crew follows, still chuckling. The other kids go back to eating. The noise picks up again, talking, trays, laughter. Tim's left standing there, alone by the water fountain. His sandwich is still on the floor, his apple's gone, his tray's empty except for the milk. He sets it down on a table real slow. He wipes his sleeve on his jeans, getting rid of the last bit of spit. But here's the thing, Tim's not shaken, not even a little. You'd think he'd be mad or sad or scared. Most kids would be. Getting spit on, that's awful. Getting shoved and laughed at, that's worse. But Tim's different. He's not crying inside. He's not planning to run home and hide. Nope, deep down something's happening, something waking up. See, Jake thinks he's tough. He thinks he's the winner here. He thinks Tim's just some weak new kid who's easy to pick on. But Jake's wrong, big time wrong. There's something about Tim that Jake doesn't see, something brewing, like a storm getting ready to hit. It's quiet now, sure. Tim's not yelling or fighting back yet, but it's there. And when it comes out, oh boy, Jake, going to wish he'd never even walked into that cafeteria. The bell rings, lunch is over. Kids grab their trays and head to class. Tim picks up his tray, tosses the trash, and walks out, head down like always. But his eyes, they're not scared, they're calm, too calm, like he knows something no one else does. And trust me, he does, something big, something awesome, something that's going to turn this whole mess around. What do you think's coming next? Any guesses? Stick with me, this story, about to get even better. Hey friends, we're back with Tim's story and things are heating up at Lincoln Middle School. The next few days after that awful lunch, oh boy, they were tough for Tim. Let's dive in and see what happens next. So picture this, it's been a couple of days since Jake spit in Tim's face. You'd think maybe Jake would get bored and move on, right? Nope, not a chance. Jake and his crew, Mike and Tommy, they're like a pack of dogs with a new chew toy. And that toy, it's Tim. They don't let up, not even a little. Every day they find new ways to make Tim's life miserable. It starts in the hallways. Those long, busy hallways at school are full of kids rushing to class. Tim's just trying to get to his locker or his next room, holding his books tight. He's got that beat-up backpack slung over one shoulder, his head down like always. But then bam, Jake sticks out his big foot and trips him. Tim stumbles, almost falls, and his books go flying. Papers scatter all over the floor. Jake laughs loud and mean. "Oops, watch where you're going, new kid," he says. Mike and Tommy crack up too, pointing at Tim like it's the funniest thing ever. Tim doesn't say anything. He just kneels down, picks up his stuff real slow and keeps walking. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no. Later that day he's carrying his books again, maybe a math book and a notebook, and Tommy sneaks up behind him. Whack! Tommy smacks the books right out of Tim's hands. They hit the ground with a thud and pages flap open. "Nice grip, Spit Face," Tommy yells, grinning. That's their new favorite name for him, Spit Face. They shout it loud so everyone in the hall can hear. Now kids turn and stare, some laugh, some whisper, but nobody helps Tim pick up his books. Nobody says, "Cut it out," they're too scared of Jake. And it keeps going. At lunch, Jake walks by Tim's table and accidentally bumps his tray. Milk spills all over Tim's lap. In the classroom, Mike flicks paper balls at Tim's head when the teacher's not looking. Everywhere Tim goes, Jake and his buddies are there, teasing him, pushing him, laughing at him. They call him loser, spit face, new kid like it's a bad word. And the other kids, they either join in giggling or making faces, or they look away, pretending they don't see. Nobody dares stand up to Jake. He's too big, too loud, too mean. But here's the cool part, Tim doesn't fight back, not yet. You might think he'd yell or cry or tell a teacher. Most kids would, right? Getting tripped and shoved and called names, it's awful. But Tim, he's different. He stays quiet, super quiet. He doesn't scream or punch or run away. Instead, he watches. Yep, he just watches Jake and his crew like he's studying them. Tim notices stuff, little things, like how Jake always stands with his chest puffed out like a rooster strutting around. He sees how Mike and Tommy follow Jake everywhere, copying everything he does like little puppies trailing their mom. He watches the way Jake smirks every time he thinks he's won, like when Tim's books hit the floor or when kids laugh at Spit Face. That smirk is big and smug, like Jake, saying, "I'm the king and you're nothing." But Tim's not nothing. Oh no, he's quiet, sure, shy maybe, but weak. Nope, not even close. Every time Jake shoves him, every time Mike trips him, every time Tommy calls him a name, Tim's keeping score, not with a pencil or a list, just in his head. He's remembering it all, every laugh, every push, every mean word. It's like he's building something inside, something big and strong and secret. Jake doesn't know it. His buddies don't know it. Nobody does. But Tim's not breaking. He's waiting. Now let's jump to a super cool moment. It's Wednesday and the class is in gym. The gym's big shiny floors, tall ceilings, and that smell of sweat and rubber balls. Today they're playing dodgeball. You know dodgeball, right? Two teams throwing balls at each other, trying to hit people and knock them out. It's loud and wild, with kids yelling and running everywhere. Tim's on one team, standing near the back. He's not jumping around or shouting like the others. He's just there watching the game. Jake, on the other team, of course, and Jake, he's the star. He's got a ball in his hands, tossing it up and catching it, grinning like he owns the whole gym. He's already hit 3 kids, bam, 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 and they're out, sitting on the benches. Everyone's cheering for Jake, even the kids who don't like him. He's good at this. Then Jake spots Tim across the gym. His eyes light up and that shark grin comes back. "Hey, spit face," he yells loud enough for everyone to hear. Kids giggle. The teacher's on the other side, not paying attention. Jake grips the ball tight, pulls his arm back and hurls it hard, like really hard. That red rubber ball flies straight at Tim's head, zooming through the air. Everyone expects Tim to duck or stumble or get smacked right in the face. They've seen him trip in the halls, drop his books, stand there quiet. He's not fast, right? He's not tough, that's what they think. But guess what? They're wrong. Tim doesn't duck, he doesn't stumble, he doesn't even blink. Instead, he steps to the side, smooth as butter, like he's dancing. The ball's coming fast, but Tim's faster. His hand shoots up and catch, he grabs it, one-handed, just like that. The ball stops dead in his grip. The gym goes quiet, totally silent. Kids freeze, mouths open. Jake's grin drops for a second. Mike and Tommy stare, eyes wide. Did that just happen? Tim stands there, holding the ball, calm as ever. He doesn't cheer or yell or show off. He just looks at Jake, then tosses the ball back nice and easy, like it's no big deal. Jake blinks, then snorts. "Lucky catch, loser," he says, shaking his head. He laughs, and his buddies laugh too, like nothing weird happened. The game starts up again, kids shouting, balls flying, but a few kids on the sidelines. They're whispering now. "Did you see that?" one says. "How he moves so fast," another asks. "He caught it with one hand." They're confused. They thought Tim was just some clumsy new kid. But that move, that was smooth, too smooth. Tim doesn't say anything. He goes back to standing at the edge, watching the game. But here's the best part. He smiles, just a tiny, secret smile. Not big, not loud. You'd miss it if you weren't looking. It's the kind of smile that makes you wonder. What's he thinking? What's he hiding? Why isn't he scared of Jake like everyone else? And that's the thing, Tim's got something up his sleeve, something awesome. Jake thinks he's winning, tripping Tim and calling him names. His crew thinks they're tough, knocking books and laughing. The other kids think Tim's weak, just a quiet nobody. But they're all wrong. That dodgeball catch, it's a hint, a little peek at what's coming. Tim's not just keeping score, he's getting ready. For what? Oh, you'll see, it's going to be big, really big. What do you think Tim's hiding? Any ideas? Tell me below, I can't wait to hear. Stick around because this story about to get wild. Hey everyone, we're at the best part of Tim's story now, the big moment you've been waiting for. It's Friday and things are about to get wild at Lincoln Middle School. Are you ready? Let's jump in. It's the end of the week, Friday afternoon. School's out and kids are pouring outside, ready to run home or hang out. The courtyard's busy. It's this open space with grass and benches surrounded by brick walls. The sun's shining and there's a cool breeze blowing. Kids are laughing, tossing backpacks around, making plans for the weekend. It's loud and happy, like the whole school buzzing with energy. But then there's Jake. Oh boy, Jake, not done with Tim yet. All week he's been tripping him, shoving him, calling him spit face. That dodgeball catch in gym, Jake didn't like it. It bugged him, made him mad. He's been watching Tim, waiting for the perfect chance to go big. And now, on Friday, he's ready. He wants everyone to see him put Tim in his place once and for all. Tim's walking across the courtyard, minding his own business. He's got his beat-up backpack on, his messy brown hair flopping over his eyes. He's quiet, like always, heading toward the gate to go home, but Jake spots him. He's with Mike and Tommy, his buddies, standing near a bench. Jake's eyes narrow, that shark grin comes back. There he is, he says to his crew, cracking his knuckles loud enough to hear. Time to finish this. Jake starts walking fast, straight for Tim. Mike and Tommy follow, grinning like it's a game. Kids nearby notice. They stop talking. They turn to watch. Word spreads quick. Jake's going after the new kid, and soon there's a crowd forming. Kids gather in a big circle around the courtyard, whispering, pointing. Some are nervous, some are excited. Everyone knows Jake's mean and they think Tim's about to get crushed. Tim hears the footsteps. He stops walking, turns around slow. There, Jake, big and loud, stomping toward him. Mike and Tommy are right behind, fists clenched. The crowd's getting bigger, 20 kids, then 30, all watching. Jake stops a few feet from Tim, towering over him. He sneers, showing his teeth. "You think you're tough now, huh?" he says, his voice booming. "That dodgeball thing, luck. Let's see what you've got, new kid." Before Tim can say a word, Jake shoves him hard. Both hands slam into Tim's chest, pushing him back a step. The crowd gasps. Some kids cheer for Jake, egging him on. "Get him," one yells. Jake's grinning now, thinking he's won already. He pulls his arm back, swings a big fist right at Tim's face. It's fast, aimed to hurt. Everyone expects Tim to duck or fall or cry. He's the quiet kid, right? The one who doesn't fight back. But that's when it happens, the big moment, the one that changes everything. Tim doesn't flinch, he doesn't fall, he doesn't even look scared. In one quick move, faster than you can blink, he ducks under Jake's punch. The fist flies over his head, missing by inches. Jake's eyes go wide, like he can't believe it. But Tim's not done. He grabs Jake's arm, snap, and twists it hard behind Jake's back. Jake yelps a loud, surprised sound and drops to his knees. Thud, he hits the ground like a sack of potatoes, his face scrunched up in pain. The crowd gasps again, louder this time. Mouths drop open, eyes bug out. Nobody saw that coming, but Tim's still moving. Mike and Tommy rush in, they're Jake's buddies, they have to help, right? Mike's skinny and fast, charging at Tim with his fists up. Tommy's stomping in too, yelling something mean. They think they can take Tim together. Nope, Tim spins around, smooth and calm. Mike swings at him, but Tim steps to the side, easy, like he's playing a game. He grabs Mike's shirt and pushes him down, bam, flat on his back. Mike lands hard, staring up at the sky, confused. Tommy's next. He's bigger, clumsier, running at Tim like a bull. Tim doesn't even sweat it. He takes 2 quick steps, dodges Tommy's grab and shoves him sideways. Tommy stumbles, whoa, and crashes right into a bush. Leaves fly everywhere and Tommy's stuck, flailing like a turtle on its back. The courtyard's frozen now, dead quiet. Jake's on his knees, holding his twisted arm. Mike's on the ground, blinking up at Tim. Tommy's tangled in the bush, muttering. The crowd's staring, not even breathing. 30 kids, maybe more, all watching Tim. Who is this kid? Now Jake looks up at him, his face red and sweaty. What, how'd you? He stammers, his voice shaky. He's not grinning anymore, he's not the king now, he's just a big bully who's lost. Tim straightens up, he brushes his hands on his jeans like he's cleaning off dirt. He looks at Jake, then at the crowd. His voice comes out clear, not loud, but strong. I tried to stay quiet, he says, loud enough for everyone to hear. But you wouldn't stop. I'm a black belt, been training since I was 5. Next time, pick on someone who can't fight back. Boom, there it is, the big reveal. Tim's secret's out. He's a black belt, a super awesome fighter who's been learning moves since he was little. Not just any kid, not a weak new kid. A tough, trained kid who's been holding back all week. The courtyard stays silent for one more second. Then, clap, someone cheers. A girl in the back with pigtails starts it. Then a boy with glasses joins in, clap, clap. Soon half the crowd's clapping, shouting, whooping. Yeah, Tim, one yells. Get him, another says. They're not scared of Jake anymore. They're cheering for Tim, the quiet kid who just flipped the whole game. Now Jake's still on the ground, his face burning red. He doesn't look up, he doesn't say anything. He's humiliated big time. Mike crawls to his feet, rubbing his back. Tommy finally rolls out of the bush, covered in twigs, looking mad but too embarrassed to try again. The crowd keeps cheering and Jake's crew just slinks back, heads down. Now, Tim doesn't cheer with them, he doesn't dance or brag, he just stands there, calm as ever. His messy hair's still in his eyes, his backpack's still old and ripped. He looks the same, small, quiet, shy, but now everyone knows he's not the same. He's tough, he's strong, he's a black belt. And Jake messed with the wrong kid. The bell rings in the distance, time to go home. Kids start grabbing their stuff, still buzzing about what they saw. Did you see him twist Jake's arm? One says. He took them all down, another whispers. They're smiling, laughing, looking at Tim like he's a hero. Jake pulls himself up, slow and sore, and trudges off with Mike and Tommy. No smirks now, no puffed-out chest, just a bully who lost. Now Tim picks up his backpack, slings it over his shoulder, and walks toward the gate. He doesn't look back, but that tiny, secret smile, it's there again just for a second. He's not loud or big or mean, he's just Tim. And now everyone knows he's awesome. What do you think of that? Did you guess Tim's secret? Tell me below, I want to hear. This story's not over yet, so stick around. Hey there, story fans, we're at the part where everything shakes out after Tim's big reveal. Friday's fight in the courtyard. Oh boy, that changed a lot at Lincoln Middle School. Let's see what happens next. Ready? Here we go. So after Tim took down Jake and his buddies in front of everyone, word spread fast, like super fast. By the time Monday morning rolled around, every kid at school knew about it. It's all they could talk about. The weekend didn't even slow it down. Kids told their friends, their brothers, their cousins. Did you hear about the new kid? They'd say. He's a black belt. He flipped Jake like it was nothing. Monday starts and the school's buzzing. Kids are in the hallways whispering and pointing. The bell rings and they rush to class, but they're still talking. "Tim's so cool," one girl says, twirling her hair. "Jake, done for," a boy with a baseball cap laughs. "It's like Tim's a hero now and everyone wants to know more." Jake shows up that morning and wow, he's not the same. Usually he struts around like he owns the place. You know, chest out, head high, barking orders at Mike and Tommy, but not today, nope. He walks in slow, his red jacket zipped up tight, his spiky hair flat like he didn't even fix it. His head's down and he's not talking loud. He's not talking at all. Kids notice right away. "Where's your smirk now, Jake?" someone whispers. He doesn't answer. He just keeps walking, eyes on the floor. And his crew, Mike and Tommy, they ditch him. Yep, they're not following him around anymore. In the cafeteria, they sit at a different table, far away from Jake. "We're not with him," Mike mutters, poking at his fries. Tommy nods, keeping his head low. They don't want to be part of Jake's mess now. They saw what happened. Tim took them down too, and they're embarrassed. No more laughing or high-fiving with Jake. They're done. Meanwhile, Tim's still Tim. He walks into school with his messy brown hair and that beat-up backpack. He doesn't look different, no fancy clothes, no big grin. He's still quiet, still shy, but something's changed. Kids don't ignore him anymore. They don't laugh at him. Instead, they're curious. During recess, a group of boys runs up to him. "Hey, Tim," one says, bouncing on his toes. "Can you show us a karate move?" Another kid with glasses chimes in, "Yeah, how'd you flip Jake like that?" Tim blinks, surprised. He's not used to this. Kids talking to him, wanting to be his friend. He shrugs a little, his voice soft. Maybe later," he says. He doesn't show off or brag. He just smiles, that tiny, secret smile, and keeps walking. But you can tell he's happy, not loud happy, just quiet happy. The kids who laughed at him before, the ones who called him spit-face and giggled when Jake tripped him, they're different now too. In class, a girl who used to snicker at Tim raises her hand. "Tim, you're really good at fighting, huh?" she asks, her eyes wide. A boy who pointed and laughed last week leans over. "Can you teach me to catch a dodgeball like that?" They're not mean anymore. They're impressed. They want to know him. And it's not just the kids. The teachers hear about it too. By Monday afternoon, the story reached the principal's office. Mr. Carter, the principal, is a tall guy with a loud voice and a big desk. He calls Jake in during lunch. The door's closed, but kids walking by hear him talking loud. "Bullying's not okay, Jake," he says. "You can't push people around and expect nothing to happen." Jake, in there for a long time, head down, not saying much. When he comes out, his face is red and he's got a slip in his hand. Detention. A whole week of it. Every day after school, he's stuck in a room, writing lines or sitting quiet while everyone else goes home. Mr. Carter doesn't stop there. He calls an assembly the next day. All the kids pile into the gym, sitting on the bleachers. He stands up front, holding a microphone. "We don't bully here," he says, his voice booming. "What happened Friday, that's a lesson. Treat people right or there's consequences." He doesn't name Jake, but everyone knows who he's talking about. Jake, in the back, slouched low, staring at his shoes. Tim's there too, sitting near the middle. He doesn't stand up or wave, he just listens, quiet like always. But when the assembly over, a teacher, Mrs. Lopez, who teaches math, gives him a nod as he walks by. "Good job standing up for yourself, Tim," she says, smiling. Another teacher, Mr. Reed from gym, pats his shoulder. Nice moves, he says with a wink. Even the grown-ups respect him now. Jake, he's learning the hard way. Tuesday comes and he's not strutting anymore. He's not picking on anyone. Kids pass him in the hall and he doesn't shove or yell. He's quiet, not like Tim's quiet, but a beat-up kind of quiet. His week of detention stinks and his buddies are gone. He sits alone at lunch, poking at his food. One kid walks by and whispers, "Guess you picked the wrong fight, huh?" Jake doesn't look up. He just eats his sandwich and stares at the table. The looks can fool you, that's for sure. Jake thought Tim was weak, small, shy, easy to mess with. He was wrong, big time wrong. Picking a fight with the wrong kid, that left Jake eating dirt. Well, not real dirt, but you know what I mean. He's down and Tim's up. Not loud up, not king of the school up, just respected up. Tim doesn't turn into some big shot. He could, right? He could strut around now, bragging about his black belt, showing off moves, but he doesn't. Wednesday, he's back to normal, walking to class, keeping to himself. A few kids still ask about karate and he just nods or says, "It's just practice." He's not looking for attention. He's happy being Tim, the quiet kid who stood up when he had to. By the end of the week, things settle down. The whispering stops. Kids go back to their games and homework, but it's different now. Jake's not the boss anymore. He's just a kid who got caught being mean. And Tim, he's not invisible. People say hi to him in the halls. They smile when he walks by. He's still got that messy hair, that old backpack. But now they know he's tough, he's cool, he's Tim. So justice? Yep, it's served. Jake's in trouble, his crew's gone, and he's not bullying anyone. Tim's got respect, not fear. The school's a little nicer now, a little fairer. And Jake, he's learned something big. Don't judge people by how they look. You might end up on your knees wishing you'd been nice instead. What do you think? Did Jake get what he deserved? Would you be friends with Tim now? Tell me below. I love hearing from you. This story's winding down, but we've got one more part to go, so stay tuned. Hey friends, we've made it to the end of Tim's story, and wow, what a ride. Now let's take a second to think about what happened. There's a big lesson here and it's super cool. Ready? Let's wrap it up. So what's the big takeaway? Sometimes the person you think is weak, the quiet kid, the shy one, the one who doesn't talk much, they're way stronger than you can imagine. Tim looked small and easy to pick on, right? Jake thought so. Everyone did, but Tim had a secret. He was tough, a black belt, and when he finally showed it, boom, everything changed. You never know what someone's hiding inside. They might surprise you big time. And what about the bullies, the ones who push people around like Jake? They act big and tough, but here's the truth, they're the ones who fall the hardest. Jake strutted around thinking he was the king, but when Tim fought back, Jake ended up on his knees looking silly. Pushing others doesn't make you strong, it just sets you up for a bigger tumble. Think about it, maybe you've got a secret skill like Tim. Maybe you're good at something nobody knows about yet, drawing, singing, running fast, or even standing up for what's right. What would you do with it? Would you keep it quiet like Tim or show it off? Drop your ideas in the comments, I really want to hear. Let's keep this story alive with your thoughts. You're awesome, friends. Stay kind, stay strong, and remember, the quiet ones might just be the toughest. See you next time. Keep being you.